Hi, everybody. We're back, and we're talking about baby boomers today and how we need to prepare for our parents, which is really an ongoing series for us. And what a great time to talk about this as we're entering Father's Day weekend. If you want to even think about a gift to get your dad, really, they may open the box, oh, thanks, insurance, but no kidding, it could be in addition to something else, but to supplement that Father's Day stocking with something that he really could use. And you're talking about something really important, so let's go on to the next point about leaving parents money. This part is so sticky. I hate talking about money and parents. It's just ugly. All right, but we'll do it. How do parents leave money to children as an inheritance? So, who wants to handle that one?
Okay. The best way is, of course, they can leave all their money and everything they have in a trust or in a will, whatever it is, and they get it. But there are some severe tax penalties for leaving it to them. So if there's enough money in there, they may lose as much as 30 to 40% of what they got. Compliments of the government and the state. A much better way to do this is to use life insurance. The premiums they pay for life insurance, they'll get 2, 3, 4 times as much money that they leave to their kids tax-free. Non-probate, no probate fees, doesn't go through the courts. It's just a check that's usually issued within 1 or 2 weeks after death, and it's issued to the beneficiaries, the kids.
That's a great point.
That is a huge point. Tax-free, yeah.
I do a lot of talking on stage, and sometimes to be animated, I'll hold up a piece of paper and tell people, I have this life insurance policy here, and it's something that will go to your children tax-free. There's no income tax on life insurance done properly. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to use this tax-free vehicle because you don't like the name of it. Mm-hmm. Right? That's why we don't like the name of life insurance. It's a great tool to use in certain situations. And one of them is, I want to leave money to my children. So sometimes I'll see a parent say, well, I got, whatever the number may be, X amount of dollars over here in this bank account, and I'm going to leave that to my two children, and they can split it. And I look at them and say, well, if you're going to leave them all that money, you could just use that money to buy a life insurance and leave them 4 times the amount. And they just never dawned on them about doing it.
How interesting is that? Well, that's a good point. Very good point. Now, what about estate planning? We don't have that in the notes, but I just want to know. Tell me about estate planning, because that would tie in with what we're talking about right now.
Well, you have a couple different features. Are you talking about estate planning, meaning a lot of people talk about the federal estate tax? How to get away with paying the federal estate tax. Some people know it as the inheritance tax. And you need to, currently the tax law says that any one individual can give away $11.4 million at their death or during their lifetime, and they can pass that from one generation to the next without any federal estate tax. So there's that issue. There's also an issue of some states, like the state of Illinois, they have an estate inheritance tax, which you don't hear many people talk about it, but the state of Illinois, if you pass away with more than $4 million, you could be subject to a state of Illinois inheritance tax. Mm-hmm. And then there's just people that say, I may not have that type of money, but I still want to leave my estate, whatever I might have. It could be $400,000, it could be $400 million. I want to leave that to my children or leave that behind. How do I do that? Mm-hmm. So there's all kinds of planning techniques, Linda, based upon what state you're in, if you're worried about the federal estate tax, your state inheritance tax, or just leaving money to your children. So the masses, I see a lot of people leave money to their children and just outright. I have 4 children, and I don't want to leave my 4 children, let's just say hypothetically, for ease of math and understanding, I leave each one of them $1 million. I don't want to leave each one of them $1 million, because what happens if one of them on the way home from my funeral does something stupid like texting and driving and drinking and driving and hurts somebody or kills somebody? Well, they're going to get sued, not for the liability limits on their auto policy, but they're going to get sued for everything they have and they may lose that $1 million. Or maybe they end up getting divorced, and the divorce attorney wants some of it, or whatever the case may be. So I want to leave money to my children in a trust. And I'm not so much concerned with having my kids own that money. I want my kids to be able to control that money. So we can leave that money in the trust. The kids still have control of it. They don't own it, but they have control of it, which, for liability reasons, if they do something stupid like drinking and driving or texting and driving, and they get sued or they get divorced, they don't have to worry about the money that I left behind for them being taken away. And as a parent, I can make sure that if I'm leaving that money behind because I want to take care of my child or my grandchildren, I don't have to see that money being gone in a bad divorce or a bad lawsuit. So that trust can protect my children from themselves. So in combination with what you're saying earlier, a lot of times I see families that are going to leave a chunk of money to their children, regardless. It could be $75,000, it could be $75 million. Don't leave it to your children. Leave it to your children in a trust, and let your children not own that money, but they'll have control of it. And those trusts can pay credit card bills, pay tuition, buy houses for them, or whatever it may be.
That is so interesting. Wow. That's new news to me. I mean, anyway, yeah, that's really, really good stuff. So everybody, you need to get their numbers. Can we scroll their numbers across the screen later on in the next segment? That would be really, really good. Are you using the same number, both of you?
Yes.
Okay, Rob, you want to give it out one more time?
Yes, that is 702-830-1853.
All right.
Las Vegas number.
We'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.